Uh, I'll just try to speak in Hindi and English both. As Srileka is there and she's not she couldn't make with Marathi, so I thought like let's speak in English and Hindi.
Okay.
So, yeah. So I'll just try to give a very basic sense of what this particular project is all about. But before that, just allow me to introduce myself, and then I'll request Bokil sir to introduce himself and his organization as well. So this particular project is a joint effort by Space and a Merit Center, which Bokil sir is running for quite some time now. So I'll start with myself and I'll introduce Grace as well. So myself, Sachin Mohite. I'm working in education sector for last 12 years, more than 12 years actually. And I did my first master's in computer application, then shifted a bit and did my another master's in education. After that, I'm right now doing PhD in education from UK. There's a university called University of York. From there, I'm right now doing my PhD. And my specific area of work is active citizenship education. Uh, Now, something about space. So, space basically stands for shelter for physical, aesthetic, cognitive engagement. And we basically believe that we don't need to teach children, they learn by themselves. But how they do learn? They basically learn from their environment. They grasp everything through the environment. So our effort is to enhance that environment. So we just try to make sure that environment have each and everything which these children can learn from. So for that purpose, then we provide services to enhance spaces. When I say spaces, I basically mean a home, then hobby centers, any kind of learning center, kindergartens. So we just try to provide services for enhancing those spaces. Secondly, we provide products as well. So we do have our educational kits. So educational kits for language development, mathematics development, and all other kind of aspects. So for that purpose, we provide educational kits. So these are like largely two portfolios we work on. So this is about space. Now I request Bokil sir to just give his quick introduction and explain about Merit Center as well. Bokil sir.
Okay. Okay. Welcome everybody. I am Dr. Balkrishna Bokil and I am working in the field of education for last 50 years. I started my career as a high school teacher in Pune, but then I shifted to Indian Institute of Education, which is a research institution in the field of non-formal education and adult education. So, from 79 onwards, I am working in this field. Non-formal education and adult education are different types of education and they belong to all community members in the society. Rural societies, tribal societies, urban societies, and all professions. And therefore, adult education does not mean only literacy training. So, we are working for every person, and our motto is education for all. And the purpose of education is development of all. So, we are trying to develop various courses and curricula for various groups in the communities. Maybe women, farmers, then industrial workers, teachers, so everybody in the community. And therefore, we are working for everybody in the society and we are focusing our efforts on non-formal education. That means outside the educational institutions, outside the schools and colleges, there are various types of educational programs and they are meant for the community and we are trying to reach to every person of the community. So this is one thing. And I have worked as a researcher, as a trainer, as a communicator, as a say writer for many books, and I also worked as a resource person for UNESCO's Asia Pacific Regional Office, and work as a member of State Resource Center and Director of State Resource Center, which is meant for the continuing education program in our country. In all the states, I have worked as a resource person. So material production, training, research and evaluation, these are our focus points. So this is about my type of work. Now I'm working as an say only as a consultant or as a developer of materials and online courses and online materials for these courses and these works. So our website or our organization is Merit Center, which stands for MERIT, that is Multiform Education, Research, Information and Training Center. So everything should be multiform, that is our motto. So we are coming together, Merit Center and Space, for this new project. So that is enough, I think.
Yes. Thank you, Bokil Kaka. Thanks a lot for the introduction. So let's quickly jump into today's agenda, and then I'll specifically talk about like what this particular project is and what are we looking for. So the title itself says like Apan Sajak Palak. Now it's in Marathi, and which suggests that we are like very much focused on the audience which come with Marathi background, and then. For Sri Lekha, it might be a little discouraging for you, but initially we thought like we are based in Pune and then work largely in Maharashtra. So we thought initially we should focus only on the Maharashtra region, but slowly we will be expanding further. So I'm very sure that like if you have or if you can partner with somebody who's having Marathi background, then I guess you'll be able to work on this particular project. Or secondly, even if that is not possible, whenever we plan for our nationwide exposure, at that time you'll be in position to engage with us, right? So be with us. That's the only thing I can say right now. Yes. So let's quickly start. So the new project, what Space and Merit Center is looking for, is about us talk series. So we realize a need that specifically due to this pandemic, there is like a lot of gap. People are not in position to understand like how to work with their children, and then specifically when it comes to early childhood education, that is like between age group of 0 to 5, 0 to 7, then parents are more worried because children normally don't have that kind of engagement, in the sense like they are not enrolled in some kind of schools by them, and then they get like it get even more difficult for them to understand what activities to conduct with children. So we thought like let's conduct a talk series where we can talk about this thing, what are different things possible within their home, what different things they can do if they can understand something about child development. Okay, so with that perspective we decided to conduct a talk series. Okay, so now that talk series will be of roughly 8 to 10 episodes we are looking for, and those episodes will be in the form of interviews, because we thought like monologue won't help much. We should have some interaction. So because of that, then there will be a interaction. People will be so Bokil sir will be conducting interviews, and those interviews will be telecasted. So that is the kind of format we are looking for. Obviously, as we are looking for a huge audience, so I'm not sure whether like we'll be able to engage with all the participants. Okay, but we'll just try to create some space for them to ask the questions, and then we should be in position to respond to that as well. But largely it will be in the interview form. Now we want it to reach to the large audience, so we're looking for 10,000, 15,000, that kind of reach we are looking for. And then when we say that like it's that kind of reach we are looking for, obviously the project estimations are also huge. So we are like looking for almost 1 crore, approximately 1 crore rupees of transactions we are expecting over here. So that is a kind of big project this is. And then duration, we are like assuming 5 to 6 months, which will start from January. And then after every 15 days, there will be one session. So normally we are thinking that we can conduct these kind of sessions or episodes on Sundays, because then parents will be available. And then that will be like close to 1.5 or 2 hours of session. During that, we will just try to have the interviews on a specific topic. So our initial topics, we have already decided that like we'll start with topics like nature and nurture, which is like a debate in development psychology. So we'll be starting with that, and there will be a lot of other topics which we have already discussed. But like it's premature to disclose all those things, so I haven't mentioned specific topics in this particular slide. But you can expect those topics in couple of days. So these are tentative dates which we are looking for. As I said, like it's a tentative. Will be it may get pushed a bit. Okay, so this is the kind of format we are looking for. Before going ahead, I invite Bokil sir to add in this project conceptualization. Do you want to mention anything else, Bokil sir?
Yeah, yeah. Uh, the fact is that almost every parent or father, mother, or any member of the family, they want that the child should learn effectively. But it is our experience that the parents do not have sufficient information about the process of learning, about education, and about technical knowledge about education. Technical, I mean, technical word, I mean some important terms in education. And therefore, we have decided to come together and arrange these episodes to inform the parents about the child development and child education process, and what are these factors and how the parents can help this learning process, and we can maximize the potential of the learner, that means the child, and that the abilities of the child, they should be increased in that duration, age duration or age group 0 to 7. That is the age group for ability development and some skill development. So we are focusing on parents, and parents are adults. So this is a program of adult education and not child education. But the topic is child education and learning of the child, and focus is on awareness of the parents. So throughout all these 10 episodes, we will be focusing on different topics related to early childhood education and development. Okay?
Yes. Yes, great. Thank you. Thanks a lot, Bokil sir. It added like one very important aspect, that this particular series is on adult education, but talking about early childhood education.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes, good. So I'll quickly move ahead, and like whenever you feel that you have some questions, please stop me and you can ask. Okay, or otherwise towards end of the session as well, like we'll be having some time to interact and answer the questions as well. So one important aspect, like how I reached that 1 crore figure. So this is like a rough estimation how revenue might be generated. Okay, but these are like, just let me be very upfront. This is open for debate, and then a digital partner will have say in this particular model as well. So they will be in position to suggest alternatives. You will be in position to modify this thing. So for example, let's say I have just mentioned that 5,000 participants in first episode, and fees I'm mentioning 100 rupees here. But if you think that getting 5,000 participant might be difficult, instead of that you want to change the equation and you want to make it like 250 participants, but fees will be double of it, and you feel that like people will be in position to afford that. So fees can be 200 and participant could be half of it, that is 2500. Then our earnings will be almost same. So what I'm ultimately trying to say over here is you do have say in modifying this particular model. It's just like when you submit your proposal, during that you will have to mention all these calculation. So just treat this as one template or a sample, okay, and then you can work further on this thing. Okay, so with this clarification, I guess like you are not in position to see the last figures, but like it come closer to 1 crore rupees. Okay, so that is directly fees which is coming, direct revenue which is coming through fees. There could be other alternatives as well, which are like YouTube channels. We may print books. So whatever talks we are having, we can just document those and then can publish it in the form of books. We can also create online courses using those videos. Okay, so these are various ways through which we can generate revenues. And apart from whatever I have mentioned until now, if you have any other suggestions, those are also welcome. You can suggest various other means, and then through that we can just try to generate the revenue. Our ultimate focus is like we should reach that milestone of 1 crore, or we should exceed it. Okay, now when I say that like we should exceed it, so that come with one incentive for digital partners. Okay, so if you see our profit sharing, then here we can you can see that like the pedagogical partner is Merit Center, because they will be making sure that these interactions, these interviews, each episode is very much engaging. It's having a rich content, it's delivering in a right format to the audience. So that is one particular important aspects which Merit Center is owning, and for that we are reserving 40% for them. Secondly, content partner, which is we Space. So Space will be providing the content for this particular thing, which is like coming from early childhood education. So from that perspective, whatever the content is required, that we will be creating, and then we'll be getting 30% of the profit share. And lastly, digital partner. So there is a provision which we are creating here. If you do better than expectation, so in the sense like if we are reaching 1 crore as a milestone, then 30% will be your profit share. But if we cross 1 crore, then in that case that profit share will be 40%, because this is happening just because of your efforts. Our estimations are 1 crore and we are going beyond that, which is like all credit should go to a digital partner. So from that perspective, then we thought like the percentage should be higher for a digital partner if we cross 1 crore rupees of profit. Okay, sorry, I am not saying profit, I am basically saying revenue, right? And then profit share will be 40%, because there could be few things which we need to share as expenses, which I'll talk about in next coming few slides. Okay, so let me quickly, yeah, anybody have any questions here? Okay, so let me cover a few more slides, and then I'll take a pause for taking your questions. This particular slide talk about various responsibilities we are looking for. Okay, so digital partner is first thing, just to give a very high level overview, we are looking for three important things. So pre-work, then during event a few responsibilities will be there, and post event responsibilities will be there. So during or pre event responsibilities include like digital marketing, where we are expecting to reach huge audience, and then out of that entire reach we are expecting a turn of around 5 to 10,000, 15,000, that kind of turn up we are expecting, right? And now it really depends on the digital partner, their skills, what kind of innovative strategies they deploy for achieving these figures. It's completely dependent on the digital partners, right? So that is first part, which is about digital marketing. And then after digital marketing, I will say that registration handling would be a second thing, because like when you have such a huge turn up, Then you need to make sure that all the data is collected, the payments are collected in a right format, their accounts are maintained properly. So all those responsibilities will lie with the digital partners. Then other during the event, we are expecting technical support, where you will be responsible for making sure that all the participants are in position to enter the meeting room. They are having good access, and then all the authenticated users are only entering the meeting room. So all those arrangements we are expecting digital partners to help with. The second thing would be hosts and the other parties should be having a good arrangements over there, in the sense like they should be in position to share their screens and all those things, everything what we expect during the online trainings, right? So that entire environment should be there. So that will be another responsibility on digital partners, right? One other important thing is like we are expecting digital partners to record all those meetings, all those episodes, and that recording should be rich enough to reproduced in the other formats. So for YouTube channels or for creating online trainings, for all that purpose, it should be a good quality product, right? So from that perspective, we are looking for a good quality video recording from the digital partners. And once we do have that videos, then obviously that entire thing cannot go as it is on YouTube channel. We'll have to edit that. So editing is another responsibility, and which may include adding the subtitles in English or any other language you are comfortable with, or as per the requirements. Okay, so it could be in Hindi, Marathi, or English, right? So this kind of responsibilities will be there. And then towards the like after the event, once you have this kind of huge audience with us, then we'll have to engage them, because after every 15 days we'll be reaching that audience. Okay, but those 15 days should not be empty. We'll have to connect with them. We need to maintain that connect. We should be in position to share something with them. So creating some posts, some engaging activities, might be some polls, or doing such things which will engage the audience, and they should be in position to join our next episodes, right? So that is the kind of thing then digital partner will have to do. So they can create WhatsApp groups or Facebook pages, or any other strategies they can deploy. But ultimately expectation is that all the participants should be engaged throughout this 5-6 months, right? And then apart from that, when we are engaging with them, we need to collect data as well. So in the sense like their socio-economic background, demographic data, and all those things need to be collected. At the same time, we'll also be conducting few researches to understand like how their child is progressing. Is our programs are basically helping them grow, achieve their milestones little earlier. So all those things we want to understand. So from that perspective, we may conduct certain researches, and research will be again online. So we just need to circulate a link and then need to collect the data. But digital partner will be responsible for maintaining that entire data in a secure format, in a way such that like others not getting access to it. So the security will also be one of the aspects which digital partners will have to look for, right? So these are the few responsibilities which I could see that digital partners will be taking. So this is like the overall responsibilities. Let me again quickly visit in the segregated form. So during pre-event, as you can see that promotion of the event, then preparing teaser or promo videos, then registering participants, then configuring social media pages, website development, then proofreading of all the digital content, because in Marathi we are like in English we do get good proofreading softwares, but for Marathi we don't have any. So we'll have to have a good team which can do proofreading as well. And then ultimately designing IP-free digital content, because that might be another concern. When we have such a huge responsibility, we tend to borrow images from somewhere, and then ultimately we land in a problem. So this last point is also very important, that one should understand how to create IP-free content. Okay. Then during event, these are like few responsibilities I could see. Troubleshooting all the technical challenges for participant, for guests, for host, Okay, so that is one thing. Secondly, making sure that registered users are only entering the meeting room. And then thirdly, I would say that like assuring a good quality video recording, that would be a few responsibilities during the event. And lastly, post event, uh, collecting and compiling feedback from the participant. Once events are done, then for each and every event we'll try to collect maximum feedback so that we can improve and then assure that maximum participants are getting benefited through that. Because I consider each participant will work as a marketing medium for us. So from that perspective, collecting feedback and compiling that, and then based on that giving feedback, giving some feed to the presenting team. So that will be first thing. Then professionally editing videos, adding subtitle, and then publishing it on YouTube channels and any other medium which we decide. Managing YouTube channels, and then making sure that we increase reach of that particular YouTube channel so that like we can monetize through YouTube channels as well. Then other responsibilities will include settling accounts. So this is like one very crucial aspect. We believe in transparency, and digital partners will be collecting the fees from the participants as well. So just maintaining the records, maintaining the accounts, and then ultimately settling account after each episode. That is what we would prefer, but it can be decided later as well. We can do it on the monthly basis, but ultimately there should be enough transparency, and then ultimately it should get audited as well. So that is one thing we are looking for. Then preparing location interest based WhatsApp group, and then using that we will have to take the business account for WhatsApp, and based on that we'll create certain groups and we'll engage with our participant throughout this period. Okay. Then motivating all participants to like, follow our Facebook page. That is one thing we can surely do. Then engaging with participant by sharing relevant posts. So here I'm basically just trying to say that one thing is we are creating the post, but the other aspect is like we also want to collect posts from participants as well. So it should be a crowdsourced, administered kind of environment, because unless and until participants feel like sharing something with us, I don't see that it will be a interaction in that sense. Okay, so they should also feel that they are in position to share something. They are in position to explain what they are like learning from these episodes, right? So from that perspective, these two kind of posts are essential, like one which we are posting, the other thing like they are posting. Obviously it will be monitored and administered, but that another aspect is also important. It should be crowdsourced in some or the other way, right? These are like a couple of more slides, and then I'll take a pause. So this is about social media. So I have already mentioned most of this point, like conferring all these social media platforms like Insta, LinkedIn, WhatsApp, might be Google pages and all those things. Okay, responding to all comments on social media posts. So I consider this is another essential point, because sometimes people do follow and like the pages, but if you are not in position to respond to their comments, then they feel disengaged. So I consider like this will be another responsibility of digital partners, that they will have to deploy certain employees to respond to social media comments and responses, right? Then engaging participants by sharing relevant posts, which we have already discussed. And last point also I just quickly mentioned about the crowdsourcing, right? These are few things which came to my mind. I guess while preparing proposals, you are also expected to mention what responsibilities you will not be owning. Okay, you don't want to, or rather you are not responsible for. So I have mentioned a couple of points. You can add more to it, and then during negotiations we can finalize which points you should not own, right? So one point I mentioned is about developing session content and its delivery. So that I consider it's space and Merit Center responsibility to develop the content, a rich content I would say, and to deliver it effectively. So that is our responsibility, right? Then second is like sharing experts comment on child development aspects. So basically like whatever posts we are creating, or if somebody comment on Facebook page for example, and then we want to respond to it, But if there is very specific question about child development, then digital partner might not be responsible for it. It will be space and merit center's responsibility to comment on child development specific aspects, right? uh, you guys are like free to comment on this thing. We can enhance these particular list, but these are only couple of points which came to my mind very quickly. Okay, we can add few other points to this particular list, right? So with this slide I'll take a pause. Now this talk about like various kind of expertise which are required uh, to become digital partners in this particular project. As you can see that there are so many things which we are expecting digital partners to help with. So one thing is like helping with collecting fees, and then making sure that payment gateways are integrated, then video recording, editing, all those things, then running YouTube channel, then social media promotions, branding of this entire event, then event management, which is like during the event you'll have a lot of responsibilities, technical support, which is like another important aspect. uh, it also involved PR, advertising, marketing, and all those aspects as well. Dynamic website development, so that is another aspect which will involve. And then obviously when we have websites, then basically web hosting will also be digital partners responsibility. With this I consider like telephonic support might also be required, because during the event people do call and then request for a lot of different things, and space and merit center would not be in position to respond to all calls, so digital partner will have to take that particular responsibility. So during the event and then pre and post event as well, people do call for a lot of other aspects, or we may decide to provide support in through various other ways. So we can just create a chat or WhatsApp response. We can choose any other medium, but ultimately our responsibility is to provide them support of all kinds. Okay, then search engine optimization is another critical aspects which all digital partners need to carry expertise in, because ultimately everything runs on that, right? Then content development, proofreading, which I already mentioned, IP rights and distribution licensing. These are another aspects which digital partners should be aware of. So these are like few things which came to my mind. You guys are expert in this particular thing, so I'm very sure that there is another aspects, a lot of other points which might have come to your notice and which I might have missed, right? So you can just like add all those things during your proposal writing. Okay, so with this slide I'll just take a pause. Okay, we still have almost 30 minutes in hand, which I want to invest for the discussion, right? So now you can ask questions, you can ask any specific queries, and then me and Bokil sir will try to answer those. Yes, so over to audience now.
Sachin Mandar here.
Yes, Manda, please.
Yeah. So just wanted to know whether the social media handles already exist or everything has to be created from scratch.
Yeah, everything has to be created from scratch. We haven't started anything at all, right? So we'll have to create that. Rather, what I would say is like even we haven't finalized the name. Okay, we are just waiting for digital partners to get in the contract, and we are also waiting for their suggestions, because I just mentioned one title as Apan Sajak Palak, but there are other possibilities as well. We'll have to also check like this particular phrase is catchy enough, or on social media will it have enough reach. So all those aspects need to be cross-checked. So what I would say is that just in response to your question, we haven't started at all. That is what you can assume, and we'll start from there together.
Okay.
Yes. Any other?
Hi, this is Satyajit.
Yes. Hi, Satyajit.
Hi. Actually, there is a bit of conflicting points
Yeah.
in the, I would say, in terms of responsibilities.
Yes.
How
Yes.
come content development comes under digital partner as well as merit as well as
Yes. Yes.
space?
Yes, thank you, Satyaj. Really good question, and thanks for highlighting this particular aspect. So these are like when I guess I have used it multiple times in various different aspects. So when I say content development, and so initially when I mentioned that was from space and merit center perspective, which was about the content for delivery. So where like we'll be discussing about the aspects which are like related to early childhood education and for adult education. So all those aspects will be space and merit center responsibility. But when I'm mentioning the content development over here, I'm just specifically mentioning it about the website or social media pages, right? So for that purpose, you may need to write, let's say, about us, introduction about this project. Okay, so all those aspects will be digital partners' responsibility. Obviously we'll be there to support and help and then enhance and then modify it, okay, or finalize it. But you will have to write it first, and then we can enhance it further. I hope I could differentiate these two things.
And there is a connected question
Yes, please.
that is related to video. See, basically, content is a very interesting word. That's why you have to really, really pin down it.
Yes,
Because
yes, I
even
understand.
video editing is a content creation responsibility. Not video recording, but video editing. Video editing is a content partner responsibility, according to me. Because once a video is recorded, it is the content partner or the space, probably space and merit center.
Yes.
They exactly know what to edit and what not to, whatever, that part. So
Right,
even that,
right.
so these are shared responsibilities actually.
Exactly. So I would have like answered the same thing, like really thankful for highlighting this. I like completely agree with you. So it can be a joint responsibility and cannot be just pushed on the digital partner, but like what digital partner could be responsible for coming with that expertise. But which exact content to use, and then where to cut it short, which things to keep in the video. So all those things, I guess, as a content expertise, space should own. And obviously merit center is there, like who is assuring the quality of the entire episode, so they will also be responsible. So ultimately it will be a shared responsibility, as you rightly said. Yes.
Thanks.
Any other questions? Yeah.
Sachin from
Yes,
Mandar
please.
here. Okay. Yeah. So, in the very initial slide, I saw that you've made some calculations, like
Yes.
100 rupees per registration.
Right.
So, just wanted to understand how the numbers have evolved. Like, what was the consideration while coming up with that particular business model?
Yes, so I thought like about the fees. So I thought like the minimum amount we can keep, we can assure that like the maximum participation is there. So that is one aspect for deciding the amount for fees. Secondly, about the numbers of participant. So we had we studied few other talk series as well, which are run by Sakal newspaper. Maharashtra Times also run few. Okay, and there are other few talk series which are like happening all around in Maharashtra and in entire nation as well. So we figured out that like these numbers will be achievable. So we thought like let's start with a number which normal people work with, which is like 5,000 around, and then try to increase those figures by certain amount for every 2 weeks. Right, so 2 weeks might be sufficient time for us to market enough and then get more participants. So from that perspective, I designed that particular model. But as I mentioned initially itself, like we are open to discuss that particular model, because somebody may feel that like getting that revenue through fees might be difficult, but instead of that we can use channels, YouTube channel for example, to monetize more. Then we don't really mind, we can just tweak it a bit. The other possibilities like printing books might also help. We can just create a digital copy of the talk, and we can circulate, we can sell it with some minimal amount, and that will generate more revenue. So we are fine with all these suggestions. Okay, we'll have to just sit and then discuss all those things. And then for the very same purpose, we are inviting proposals, so that all digital partners will have some say in that. They can mention like what different strategies are possible, and if they can just mention some calculations with it, we can just give a thought and then work on it further. Rather, I would say that is the criteria for selecting the digital partner. If they are creative enough, if they do have different strategies, then only I guess we are more interested in partnering with them, because we consider this particular project is important, which will need a lot of creativity, a lot of different kind of teaching is required for this particular project, right? So I hope I could answer your question.
Yes, Sachin. One more question, Sachin.
Yeah, please.
So I'm just trying to get that calculation right. So for the number of people attending these sessions, so for the audience we're talking about, so to attract them, so do we have any celebrity speaker or someone who can grab that audience? I mean, I'm just trying to think a lot.
Yes. Surely, we are planning for the same. Like during our last meeting with Bokil sir, we also discussed this particular aspect. Let's say I just don't want to name anybody right now because we haven't had any discussion with all those celebrities in education sector. But ultimately, we are planning for that particular aspect. We want to make sure that they give certain bites which we can circulate beforehand, or we can use it during the sessions as well. And surely that is part of the plan. And then after working for so many years, Bokil sir and we also do have enough contact to reach these celebrity educationists and grab their requesting them to share their bites, which can be used for the promotional purpose. So we are sure that that will be possible.
Okay. Yeah. Thanks, Sachin.
Any other question?
Hey, 1 second, Satyajit. I have one more question.
Yeah, please.
The video, again, coming back to that point, the episodes you have mentioned a episode in a 15 days typically.
Yes.
So are those going to be pre-recorded and then broadcasted, or you are expecting a live sessions?
Yes. So I consider both will be required, because just getting everything from live videos would be difficult, which I know very well because I do it every day. I do conduct online classes and I record all the sessions, but those recordings cannot be reached enough in the form of delivery as well, because now we are interacting, right? So you might be in position to connect with me easily, but if you see same videos offline, then you may find a little disconnected as well, right? So from that perspective, I consider we can take certain things which are recorded live, but we will certainly need some offline recordings. Okay, might be in the same clothings and in the same locations, but we will need certain offline recordings as well. So it will be combination of both.
Correct, because you mentioned about video quality as well, and
yes,
if it's a conference kind of a tool like Google Meet or Zoom, Zoom does better recording than Google Meet.
Yes.
However, still it is not, they claim HD and all, but it is not up to the mark at all. So if we want to circulate for monetization and all, it requires a good quality of video recording, and that has to be pre-recorded stuff.
Yes, I do completely agree with this.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah. Any other question? So let's do one thing. I'll just go through a couple of more slides, and then if you have any additional questions, we'll just try to respond to those. Yes. These are a few conditions. I'm very sure that we'll be able to write a lot about this thing. Okay, but I thought initially I should mention only few which are essential, which need to be taken into consideration beforehand. So the first is digital partner will invest for all kind of marketing from their share. Okay. Now, as I mentioned that we are looking for revenue. We are looking for 30% revenue share with them. Okay, so ultimately when I say 30%, let's say it's a 1 crore project, we generate 1 crore through various means. Okay, and then 30% will be given to digital partner. Now using out of that 30%, digital partner may just do certain calculations to figure out like how much they want to invest, and then remaining part will be their profit. Okay, and similarly it will be applicable for the content partner, which is Space, and similarly it will be applied for the pedagogy partner, which is Merit Center. Okay, so everybody will get their percentages, and out of that they will have to invest, right? And then remaining part will be their profit. Now these three partners, okay, will be responsible for investing from their shares. That is one thing. Secondly, they will have to be smart enough, they will have to optimize everything to make sure that they can maximize their profit after investments. So to speak very specific, from the digital partner perspective, let's say if you think that through Facebook boosting you can reach more number of people, now you need to decide like how much amount you want to invest in Facebook post boosting. Okay, somebody may feel that using FM radios will help you more. Okay, so you can invest over there, it's up to you. Obviously you will mention it beforehand in your proposals, like what kind of investments you are looking for, because we also want to assure that like digital partners should not end up investing everything they are getting. Ultimately we are here like we are expecting them to earn some profit through it. It's just not about profits, but ultimately that is also important, right? So what I'm mentioning here, what I'm just trying to highlight over here is that they will have, every partner will have to invest from their share. That is one thing. Secondly, they will have to upfront declare like what different kind of investments they are trying to make. Okay, so ultimately a budgeting is required in your proposals. That is one second thing. Okay, and then there should be a enough reasonable profit margin which is coming to each partner. Okay, so that is one aspect. Secondly, the additional responsibilities will be chargeable separately. So normally what happen, like somebody join as a digital partner, then we basically try to push everything on their shoulders. Okay, so I'm just clearly mentioning this point over here. If any additional responsibility is coming to you, let's say as a content partner, I want to get certain of few of my videos edited. Okay, now as digital partner is having that expertise, I may go to them, but that will be charged separately, and it will be a interaction, it will be a transaction between digital partner and a content partner. Okay, right? So instead of going to any third party editing, I may go to digital partner, but that will be charged separately, right? Third point, it's entire publicly distributed content will be approved by Space and Merit Center through formal channels. Now sometimes I have observed that we publish something on social media, it reached to large audience, and then we realize that there was some mistake. Okay, and then ultimately we blame come to digital partner. So to avoid those kind of challenges, I thought there should be a formal channel, and it could be very simple thing. It could just be a simple Google form where like we can just pick few things, we can just upload few images over there, and then if Space and Merit Center approve that, then only it will go for the circulation. Okay, so all three parties will be secured, will be assured that it will not create any problem later. And then if it does create, then it will be a joint responsibility. Okay, so nobody will be in position to just blame digital partner for this kind of gaps, right? Then entire digital content, yes, I already mentioned this point. There will be a penalty for breaking the contract and leaving project in between. So this is like normally every contract have this kind of clauses. I just thought to highlight it beforehand. So which basically mean that we are working on a very short project, which is like running just for 5 to 6 months. If somebody leaves in between, then it basically like create a lot of issues in the sense of transferring responsibilities to other organizations or other parties. So from that perspective, I'm just mentioning this point that we really don't want to break any kind of partnerships. We want to make sure that everybody is very clear with the responsibilities, they're very clear with the strategies they are deploying, they're very clear with the accounting and budgeting, and then only they start working on it. Okay, so we should not end up in a situation where like we'll have to break the relationship, right? So these are few conditions I thought to mention beforehand. Obviously there will be a number of other things which we can continue discussing further as well, right? This is another important slide. What are we planning further? Okay, again, these dates are open for discussion. If you have any suggestions, we are open to consider those. But I worked out in the backward way. So I started where like we want to start, so which I assume 10th of January should be our first episode. That is what I was thinking. But if you want to push it further, then that is also possible. So these dates are tentative. If together today itself, if we decide to push these dates a bit, we are open for that. Okay. So after this briefing, we are expecting all digital partners to submit their proposals. Okay, and what that proposal should include? That proposal should include few things which will also be considered as a criteria for selection. So one very important aspect, clarity about budgeting and about the kind of investment they will be making. So that is one important aspect. Then innovative ideas, different thoughts, what different strategies they will be working on. So all those things is another responsibility. Then availability of in-house and borrowed expertise. So this is, I consider, like another important aspect. What normally happen is like the single individual may also take the responsibilities, but that individual will not be in position to fulfill all these kind of responsibilities, because I consider it's a huge project, and then that individual might not be in position to complete each and everything. So what we propose is there should be in-house expertise, but for each and everything in-house expertise might not be required. Like some IP related thing, right? You may want to consult any lawyer, right? So you don't need in-house lawyer for that purpose, right? So you just need to give a clarity about like what in-house strength you have and what kind of borrowed expertise you will be getting on this particular project. Okay, so all the profiles should be there, part of their proposal itself, right? Then previous experiences, obviously everybody do expect the portfolio. Most of the organizations have already shared their portfolios, and which will be a good reference. But I would suggest, like after listening to this briefing, if you have any specific projects which you might have worked on the similar lines, that you can very clearly mention over there, and then you can just mention the professional recommendations and testimonials of your customers over there, which will be helpful for us, and then we'll be in position to make our decisions a little quickly, because I consider that customer recommendations really mean a lot for any project. Okay, and your completion will surely reflect it, but at the same time their satisfaction might be at multiple levels. So one is about the profits, about revenues, but the other aspect is about like what kind of relationship you carry on the professional world. So from that perspective, we are also suggesting to mention certain recommendations and testimonials over there. Okay, so these are few things. Apart from that, proposals normally contain various titles which you already know, because you might have submitted so many proposals earlier. So you can just include all those things, right? And then based on these criteria, we'll be selecting the partner. So as I mentioned earlier, we are looking for 19 December as a date to decide to accept the proposals. Okay. Then on 22nd of December, we will finalize the digital partner, right? And after finalizing it, we'll just try to formalize the contract by 24th of December. I consider from 25th there will be holidays, so I'm not sure whether we'll be in position to work on contracts after that. So before that, I'll just try to wind up the formalization of contract, and then on 25th onward, we'll start working on the project. Okay, if possible, we'll just try to launch it on 10th of January, which is a Sunday. Okay, but if at all we cannot, then we'll just push it by a week or so, right? So these are the timelines we are looking for. Any question here? Is it too stringent a timeline? Specifically for submitting proposals, because it's already 16th. And any specific question about the proposal heads? Is it fine? Mandar, Satyajit.
Yes, Sachin, no questions as of now.
Okay, yes, perfect. But like, do you feel that like with your team, you'll be able to work on the proposal in next 3-4 days? Will that be sufficient?
Yes, yes.
Yes, perfect, great. Yeah. Yes. Good. Then just let me go to last couple of slides, and then we'll just stop here. So these are, sorry for like the titles missing here. So I'm basically just trying to highlight like what different rather let's avoid this particular slide, because we already briefly discussed it here and there. So let me not invest much time in this particular slide. Coming to these last two slides. So one is on the ethical part. I consider like this is very important. One is I already mentioned about the transparency in all kind of transactions, just not about the accounting part of it, but in all kind of transactions we do believe in transparency. So that will be good if we can just be upfront. And then when I say transparency, is just not about like what good you are doing. If there is something which you will be missing out, let's say you will not be in position to reach the expected participants, then that is also that should be upfront, that should be transparent. We should be aware of that, and then I guess we can together figure out some solutions for it, right? So transfer is one crucial thing I'm looking for. Second important point, no kind of malfunctioning is expected over here. Okay, we all are mature, obviously we won't be doing that knowingly, but even unknowingly if something are happening, we will just try to avoid that. And then obviously all those points can only come through discussions. So open discussion is one thing which will again promote here. And then third important point is about equal opportunities. Okay, so we do believe in equal opportunity, as we come from the social sector background, and our companies are also social businesses. So we believe in equal opportunities, and then equally we expect our digital partners and any kind of partners to work on equal opportunities, right? Lastly, these other aspects, these are the kind of values we believe in, and we expect that our digital partners should also be valuing it. Obviously, when we'll meet together, when we will decide to work together, at that time we can just increase this list and then make sure that we do have a healthy list of values which we all agree on, right? So first thing, we should value each other's time and respect each other's work as well. Okay, we should request for we should give respect and should demand respect. Okay, so that is one thing. Thirdly, very important point, I believe that like every project gives us opportunity to learn. So this particular project should also give you opportunity to learn, grow, and then mature in this particular profession. And then it's just not digital partner, we all should get that opportunity, and every employee, every individual getting engaged in this project should get this opportunity to learn, grow, and mature, right? Fourthly, delivering highest quality content. I believe that is again another important aspect. We need to deliver highest quality, because without assuring a highest quality, we will not be in position to meet the participant expectations. And if you are not in position to do that, then obviously we'll be short of something. We will not be in position to achieve or reach those many people. Okay, so we just want to make sure that this particular effort will change how parents in Maharashtra think about early childhood education. Okay, they should be in position to get an alternative vision of their child's development. Okay, so from that perspective, I consider high quality content, high quality delivery is very important, right? And then lastly, as I mentioned initially as well, we will be looking for returning customers. In the sense, customer might be a wrong word here, participants we are saying. So once any partner, any participant join us, he should be in position, he or she should be in position to continue with us for long, might be for the duration of this project and afterwards as well. Okay, so these are few values we need to work on, we need to abide to while working together, right? So with this, I consider like I can stop. These are the only things which I had for today. Now I'll just wait for your questions, or otherwise we'll stop for the day.